Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler B series videos I do for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. Two backroom reviews in a row. How crazy is that? The answer is it's not that crazy. Usually when I do reviews for my back room, I usually do a few in a row to make, wasn't going anywhere with that. But anyway, folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to go over there and give a treat to my hamster. How you doing, buddy? How's my big old ham? Who likes treats? You like treats because you're a hamster. Love it. It's my buddy Bernard. He's over there having himself a little peanut butter treat. But anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, yes indeed, folks. So it is a super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am in my back room, which means I've got Peter Can Thunderbolt poster behind me. Marvel figures have been moved. If you watch my older videos, you know that I used to have a bunch of Marvel figures up there. And the crappy old ladder is not in this room. It is off doing crappy ladder stuff somewhere else in my house. But anyway, on top of that, folks, what else am I doing? Well, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom! It's my Cyclone 9 shirt. Which, if you are unfamiliar with Cyclone 9, it's kind of an industrial metal electronica music project. At this point, basically just essentially a guy named Nero. It's his musical project. I became aware of his stuff through his collaboration with a guy named Tim Skold, who I'm a big fan of. Works with him on Tim Skold stuff, and then they also did a project called Not My God, which was them as a duo, and that's where I kind of became affiliated with this stuff, and I ended up really liking it. And the time I'm doing this, I went over there, I got to see them perform live just a few days ago. I actually took a bunch of videos of not only Cyclone 9, but the other bands as well that performed, and they were really badass. It's not going to be for everybody. I am not saying it's for everybody, but I think if you kind of enjoy that sort of industrial, sort of theatrical, kind of style of music, it's worth checking out. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing? Why is it in the back room? Well, it's in the back room just because, quite frankly, just in the back room. I just had the day off, and I was like, sure. I'm not going anywhere in my truck, so I didn't want to do reviews in my truck. But anyway, what we are reviewing is, boom, it's this! What is it? It is Nature's Nectar Sparkling Fresh Pumpkin Spice Apple Cider. No artificial flavor, contains 100% juice. What's this? It's twice as nice. Item replaced, money refunded. Okay, so yeah. Honestly, I kind of thought this was alcoholic when I first grabbed it. I went out to Thanksgiving, and they had these there, in their cooler. And I grabbed one, and I didn't drink it initially because I figured it was alcoholic, and I was like, oh, I'll just do it as a review later on, but it doesn't appear to be the case. That's cool. I like apple cider way more than I like alcoholic apple cider, so ha 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 ha. Let's try some stuff out. And to be fair, I've reviewed some alcoholic apple cider. Oh, I got chubby hamsters. This is my hamster room. Let's give this a go. Ooh. And I have had pumpkin spice apple cider before. It's an interesting thing. Let's give it a go. Ooh. That's very different. Very different than the stuff that I've had before. Very interesting. It's the stuff that I had before. I feel like there was a more active attempt to sort of blend the flavors together. Whereas with this, the flavors seem a little bit more separated and a little bit more striking, which is not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a different interpretation of how to do it. But yeah, with the pumpkin spice apple cider that I've had before, it was really running throughout it, the whole, throughout the entire cider experience. Whereas with this, I get sort of different hits at different times. Some of it meshes together a little bit, but and it has a much stronger apple cider flavor as a result. Like, it has a nice, really strong tanginess to it, which I like a lot. It's part of the reason why I like apple cider so much. It's because it does have that more rawness to it, you know. You can taste the apple more than in just the normal apple juice. Um, I I really like this. Like, this compared to the other stuff that I've had, I definitely like this a lot more. The pumpkin spice apple cider that I've had in the past, it's one of those things where I'll usually get it like once a year. And then I'll kind of remember why I don't get it more than once a year. Not that it's bad, but it's not something that like I want as a regular thing. It's just, I don't know, the way it's blended, it's almost just too sweet, and like I'm not really getting the tanginess. Whereas with this, I appreciate that they really seem to have gone out of their way to make sure that you still get the tangy aspect. So it kind of, not only does it create contrasting flavors, which if you watch my channel, you know I love contrasting flavors, but on top of that, it it allows the tanginess to do its own thing without the sweetness completely overtaking it. And for me, that's a must. Yeah. Yeah, and so then you get sort of just like bursts of the pumpkin spice. Like, it mostly sort of just seems to reside kind of in it just gives sort of like an interesting pumpkin spice edge to the tanginess. But it's not like overly sweet, it's not intrusive on the flavor. This is really good. This is really, really good. This Nature's Nectar stuff, man, I'm going to have to look into more of their stuff because, you know, when I grabbed this from the cooler, it was like, hey, opportunity to do a review, why not? You know, might as well. But, excuse me, I wasn't exactly going into it expecting profound results. Whereas, you know, no, this is actually some really good stuff. It's changed my interpretation of the idea of pumpkin spice apple cider. And it's really good. It's nice, it's crisp, it's refreshing, and it doesn't just have that like sickeningly sweet, you know, pumpkin spice aspect to it. I like this a lot. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes and absolutely yes. I mean, say what you will about the whole pumpkin spice thing. Obviously, people feel very strongly about it one way or another. I'm fine with it. It's not, I'm very much like kind of in the middle. It's, you know, oh, 1 second. What's up, buddy? What's up? Who's a hamster? Who's a hamster? Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Oh, he's chubby. I wasn't originally going to pick him up, but he was being all super adorable. This is my buddy Bernard. How you doing, Bernard? Yeah, you're a chubby hamster. You're like, yeah, Dad, it's beneficial to be chubby right now since it's cold out. It's like, buddy, you have a heat-controlled room, unlike the rest of the house. Oh, he's such a little dude. He's my tiny rescuer ham. How you doing, buddy? You good hamster? Great hamster. Love you. But yeah, in regards to the little pumpkin spice thing, I'm very sort of in the middle on it. Like, I like it when I feel it's appropriate, but I can definitely see why some people get a little bit annoyed with how oversaturated it gets. But I do think, again, I think in the right circumstances, there's no reason not to appreciate it. And with this, you know, apple cider is already a very fall-oriented kind of thing, here in the United States at least. And then, on top of that, you know, the pumpkin spice, in this instance, works out extremely nice. Yeah. As long as you're not using the pumpkin spice obnoxiously, I'm fine with it. And for me, I think this works really well. I don't like it as much as I would just like normal apple cider, but as like an option, I like that it's there and it's really tasty. If I'm recommending it to people, I mean, look, if you're not into the pumpkin spice thing, it's not going to change your mind. Even though I don't feel that it's in any way abrasive in this, it's still present. If you're not into it, you're not into it. But I think that for most people, even if you're kind of along the lines like myself, you're a little bit more casual, absolutely, give it a shot. It's really good. And like I said, I'm going to look into the Nature's Nectar stuff and see what else they have available, because that's a really good drink. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go wherever you have yourselves a truly super adorable hamster-tastic rest of your life. How you doing, Board? How you doing? Yeah. Yeah, he's such a good boy. Like, seriously, Bernard is like one of the sweetest hamsters I've ever had. He is just such a well-behaved little dude. He's a well-behaved little dude. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world as much as possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. We don't always have adorable hamsters to go over there and bring up our moods and make our lives infinitely better. Do we, buddy? Who's your bud? Who's your bud? I love him. He's such a good hamster. And if you ever want any, information on hamsters or anything, just hit me up in the comments. I'll field any questions I think I can do so, or at least point you in the right direction. But the fact of the matter is we are going to have to deal with situations in our life that are stressful, frustrating, etc. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to do for me, if you so have the opportunity. If you happen to have any little furry family members, be they, cats, dogs, and they don't even have to be furry. Fish, isopods. I have a friend who has isopods as her pet. Do not eat my shirt, buddy. Don't eat my shirt. Just, make sure you give them a little extra love for me, because, they're wonderful things, and we are beyond fortunate that we get to go over there and share this planet with so many incredible creatures, and, not even just in a pet capacity, just the whole biosphere that we get to enjoy. And sometimes I think we kind of forget that, we see ourselves as masters of the earth, and it's like, well, shit. There's all these other things that are living here too, and, they're awesome, like my buddy Bernard. Or conversely, there is no conversely, just do that. Please, try to be respectful to, animal life and stuff like that, it's really important. And mind you, I say that, a little bit hypocritically, of course, I eat meat and stuff like that, and there's all those, trust me, it's something I've thought about myself many a time, but anyway.